We just finished reading our next chapter of our family stories. So we just finished reading about Cami. So if you did not watch the video about reading about Cami, go back one post and watch that video first, okay? Because now we're going to go ahead and do our writing lesson. So before you watch this video, make sure you watch the video that comes before it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, close our book, and I'll move it out of the way for now. And we are going to go ahead and do our writing lesson. So when we do our writing lesson, I always like to get you started with a sentence frame. But before we do that, let's go ahead and make sure you have your distance learning folder and turn to the page. It should be the very last page in your distance learning folder that looks like this. It kind of looks like your notebook at school. So it has a picture area on the top and then a place to write your words on the bottom. So make sure you turn to this page and you have your dry erase marker ready. If you are just working on a sheet of paper, that's fine. Just work on that sheet of paper, but please don't take this out because once you get a dry erase marker, you'll reuse this every time we have a distance learning day. Okay, so once you have that out, let's get ready to write our sentence. So we read about Cami, and Cami told us a little bit about her personal story, right? Do you remember what Cami talked about in the story? What do you remember from that story? Why don't you think about it in your mind? What do you remember about Cami? I remember that Cami's story was about her glasses, right? And how she got glasses. So she told us a very personal story about how when she went to the eye doctor said her vision was not very good and that she needed glasses. And now she's able to do a lot more things now that she has her glasses, right? So we're going to go ahead and I want you to think of something personal about yourself or your family that you would like to share. So let's go ahead. Let me grab a sentence strip so that we can write our sentence frame to get us started. Okay, got my marker ready and we are ready to write. So let's think about how we want to start our sentence first. When you start a sentence, you need to make sure that it has a beginning, right? You don't just say, like, I have glasses. Like, did Cami say that I have glasses? No, right? She gave us a little backstory and she started her sentences in a way that was engaging for you and gave you a lot of information. So when we start our sentence, we always want to start it with a complete sentence, right? A complete thought. Like whenever we say what we think in class, we always say it in a complete sentence, like, I think that, or I agree with, or I disagree with, things like that. So, depending on what you would like to write about, we're going to start our sentence a certain way. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just say something about my family. Okay? So when I start my sentence, I'm going to start it with my family. I'll tell you my sentence first so that we can count the number of words in it and then you can help me on how I should start it. Okay? So my sentence is my family lives in New Jersey. Okay, let me say it again. My family lives in New Jersey. So that's my sentence. How many words does my sentence have? 6, right? It has 6 words. I always count how many words there are in my sentence so I can stay on track and I don't miss any words. So I'm going to go ahead and write my very first word. So what's my very first word? My family lives in New Jersey. What's my first word? My, right? So I'm going to go ahead and write my. But first, do I start with an uppercase or a lowercase? Uppercase. And I start with an uppercase M. That's the first sound in my, right? So I'm going to go ahead and make an uppercase M. Now, I know how to my Why? Because it's one of our sentences. Once we start learning more words, you'll be able to spell them correctly. So I know next comes Y, and I'm going to make it a lowercase because everything is going to be lowercase. All right, now I need my second word. So let's see. My family lives in New Jersey. What's my second word? Family, right? So before I start my next word, what do I need to do? Finger space, right? So that all my words are not on top of each other, I need my finger space. What's the first sound in family? I'm going to use my soundboard. Ready? Family. My first sound that I hear is F, and that's an F. So I'm going to go ahead and write a lowercase f. Let's see. What's my next sound in family? Family. I hear a ah. That's an A. So I'm going to write A next. My next sound, family. I hear a right here. So I'm going to go ahead and write a lowercase m. Let's go ahead, get the next one. Family. I hear a ul, so I'm going to write a ul next. And then my last sound, let's listen to what's here. Family. I hear an E, and I know the letter E also says E, so I'm going to write that. My family. A good writer always goes back and reads what other words or what words they've written so far so that they know what comes next, right? That's why we count. So I went ahead and I wrote my first part of the sentence. If you want to write about your family in your distance learning folder, you go ahead and you use this sentence frame. Now, your family may live in New Jersey, they might not, but it's my sentence, right? My family lives in New Jersey. Can you tell me something about your family? What is something special about your family? Are they from a different part of the state? Are they from a different state altogether, from a different country? What does your family like to do on the weekend? Maybe what did you do on this Labor Day weekend? Go ahead and write me a sentence about your family, and don't forget to add a picture, because the picture always helps the reader figure out what your story is about. So let's go ahead and try that now, and make sure you send me a picture of your sentence, okay? I look forward to seeing it.